Talking about the shadow, just get that out of the way early, Andrea. What's that like when you're trying to track a ball out of the depths of the darkness and the other way around as well, from the sunshine into the darkness?
Yeah, I always found it more difficult when the ball was coming out of the shadow into the bright sunlight. Your eye just needs a fraction of a second to adjust. And you could see there a glimpse of what Lammens does so well, that forehand inside out, when she has time to run around her backhand and use her forehand inside out. That's where she does the most damage on the baseline.
Too big, attacking the short ball. Not easiest end to serve from at this time of the day as well. That was certainly seemed to be an issue when Djokovic and Sviatek were playing in this time slot yesterday. Novak was using the baseball cap when he was in the sunshine, then he'd take it off at the change of ends.
Yes.
Get rid of it down the other end. So we'll see whether it affects the quality of the serving from where the number 2 seed is. And that far end early on, looking into the sun.
You can see Lammens trying to free herself from those forehand cross-court rallies with a high-risk shot down the line. And that's what Swiatek does so well when she's playing well, is that forehand becomes such a weapon. She can be rushed into that shot at times, but it requires a very heavy ground stroke to be able to do that.
Successful opening service game then from Iga Swiatek, number 2 seed. Not at the top of the rankings at the moment, of course, but she's been there for a long time, a long period, 125 weeks as world number 1. That puts her 7th in the all-time list. Everybody some distance behind the great Steffi Graf, who was at the top of the rankings for 377 weeks in her career.
I don't think I played 377 weeks in my life. It's insane.
How's Iga been looking post-Wimbledon, Andrea? You've been across a handful of her matches since you won at the All England Club.
Yeah, I have. I called a few of her matches in Montreal, a couple of them, and then a few of them in Cincinnati as well. I spoke to Wim Fissette in Cincinnati, actually, and he said, you know, in Montreal, she needed to take a break after Wimbledon. And in Montreal, she was still practicing, but she also reverted back to that ultra perfectionism, right? All these players are perfectionists. But Iga seems to be the 0.1 perfectionist of all the perfectionists on tour, and she was getting down on herself in that match against Towson. And Wim said the only goal for Cincinnati is for her to accept a few unforced errors on these quicker courts, and she did marvelously well, of course, because she ended up winning the title.
Out 15.
Champion on the Monday, and then made an extremely fast journey to New York to get here in time for the mixed doubles championship, the reimagined mix that was held on Tuesday and Wednesday during Fan Week. And I could not believe how much energy she brought to the court.
That was unbelievable. That was really incredible. I thought she was going to be tired. She arrived at 12:50 after midnight that Monday to Tuesday night and was on site at 9:30 a.m. already.
Ready to roll with Casper Ruud, her partner.
Let for Sue.
I'll tell you what struck me about watching them as well. I've never seen Casper Ruud look so happy on a tennis court. He was. I saw a different side of him alongside Iga on court.
Absolutely. They really complemented each other. It was so fun to watch. This is a well-constructed point by Iga Swiatek, and if you take a look at Lammens, we talked about her being on Athens for the first time. It's a really complicated court to play, not because of all the people. Yes, that too is a factor, but you tend to be pushed back behind the baseline more because the dimensions behind you are so big, and you can see Lammens just losing inch by inch towards the back.
Game Swiatek.
It is a race that sharp starts by the #2 seed, off and running.
Yeah, and Lammens did a much better job in trying to stay on the baseline. I think that will be the battle for her today, whether she can protect the baseline, whether Iga Swiatek will allow her to protect the baseline, but she needs to be very careful in letting Iga dictate play and push her back behind the baseline, because it's very hard to contest with Iga's power and accuracy if you are 5, 6, 7 or 8 feet behind the line.
So 2-0 with the break already after just 8 minutes. Dropped only 3 games during her opening match. That was against Emiliana Arango, and Lammens came through against Valerie Glosman. US wildcard 4-2, but it's been a good adventure this year for the Dutch player. Plenty of firsts for her, new experiences. We sometimes say, don't we, it's the player's first year on tour. Some people might say, well, she's been playing the sport for forever, but it's a different feel, a different challenge, different venues, different courts, different level of opponents, of course. So it takes some getting used to playing at tour level for the first time for a full calendar.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the right way to phrase it. Somebody just caught that off ball in the ground. Just playing that higher intensity week in, week out against the best athletes in the world requires more.
Ruthless accuracy in the back to make this game back to 30-all.
30-all.
Lammens able to play all 4 of the majors this season. That's a big jump, big improvement. One round in Australia. Lost first round in Paris, but picked up a win at Wimbledon. So a couple of match wins at Grand Slam level.
Let for Sue.
Changes the bank balance as well, doesn't it? The prize money now, losing in the earlier rounds at the majors, is extremely useful if you're paying a lot of bills, as these tennis players are around the world. $154,000 for second round here at the US. Big jump in the prize money this year. Just gave her a second chance. Wasn't quite ruthless enough with the first volley, but got there in the end.
14-13.
Yeah, I would credit those two volleys to the mixed doubles. Very well done. And you can just see the foot speed of Lammens, who moves around the court really well. But that was nicely handled by Iga Swiatek.
Juice.
Fighting hard to get her teeth into this match. Lammens has been a little bit high in the rankings, 66 at the moment, 58 is her best effort. Another indication that she's playing the best tennis of her life, moving in the right direction. This is certainly the biggest day of her career, although she has played a handful of top players, former Grand Slam champions.
Advantage.
Doing
Lammens.
a great job here, Lammens, in finding the depth that was lacking in the first couple of games. Has slowly gotten used to the heaviness of ball by Swiatek and is finding some better depth. That's so important against Iga if you want to trouble her in any kind of way.
So, chance to strike back.
Juice.
Useful first serve to save the day. 114 miles an hour on the clock.
Advantage Swiatek.
Yeah, you're right. Lead two of her biggest serves of the day coming here at break point down and deuce.
Yeah, 114, 113. Let's bring up game point.
Game Swiatek.
Pace behind that one as well. Saves the break point to get the
Swiatek
hold.
leads 3 games to love. First
And
set.
the number 2 seed already with a comfortable lead inside Arthur Ashe Stadium. 3-0. Mixed final with Casper Ruud, so it was a good adventure, that fan week for Iga after she made the journey from Cincinnati. They gelled nicely as a team, but ultimately couldn't do anything about the chemistry of the Italians, Aryna and Vavasori, who of course defended their title.
They got close in the end, managed to turn the match around in the second set. Vavasori and Aryna were serving for a straight sets victory. And I thought that if they had a bit more time, they would have eventually gotten used to that overwhelming intensity that Vavasori and Aryna bring on court. But in the end, that champions tiebreak, the patterns of mixed doubles players that they practice day in, day out, was just too good.
Time.
Perfect setting as Arthur Ashe Stadium starts to fill up. And what is the 5th annual US Open Pride Day today. So look out for the rainbow colours around the grounds. It's welcomed by an enormous marching band as I walked away from the 7 train this morning, walking towards site, which lifted the spirits. It was nice.
Love 15.
Belting out a Lady Gaga tune. Lady Gaga was Madison Square Gardens last week, I think, wasn't she? Last few days.
You know more about Lady Gaga than I do, Lee.
Staying close to the Madison Square Gardens venue. That's the big music.
Just admit you're a big fan.
I think Iga and the rest of us are still processing the Taylor Swift news this week. I was smiling to myself going through her press
59.
conference notes. It felt like, as many will know, it's been big news this week. Taylor Swift's getting married to her boyfriend, the American football player. The first half of her press conference was all about Taylor Swift. She's a big fan. Let's just leave it there.
15-30.
It's thrilled us all, the rest of the Swifties around the world. She went to see her in Liverpool, didn't she, last year when the Eras Tour was going through the UK around the same time as Wimbledon. Taylor was here for the men's final last year.
Let for
Nice point there by Lammens, who, whenever she gets that forehand inside out in, there we have Marina Melnikova, her current coach. I'm not sure if she's still playing, Lee. I'm not sure she's still sure that she's still playing, but is or has been a good player herself on tour.
Yeah, played qualies here a couple of years ago, so that was fairly recently. She was on court here.
30-40.
Bad time for a second double. Chance for Swiatek to really take control of this opening set.
So important against Iga Swiatek to make a lot of first serve. She is one of the best returners when the second serve comes around. So aggressive, can run around it and open the court with her forehand, can play flat and hard with the backhand. Have to avoid it at all costs if you can. Here's another second serve. And that's why you do see these double faults creeping up, because the fear sets in when you face Iga Swiatek on second serve return.
It's off the hook.
Deuce.
Iga's wilder forehands today. Has a chance of going back to the top of the rankings depending on the results of Aryna Sabalenka over the next few days. Of course, Sabalenka in top spot currently. Better points she's played so far. She's got enough width with that final forehand. Chance now to get a first game on the board. And she does. Good effort. That will feel good. Don't want these sets to start to run away from you.
Swiatek leads 3-1.
Bagel sets that Iga Swiatek can throw into these tournaments.
Yeah, she reminds me very much of Steffi Graf in their regard.
Just a very quick reminder to download the US Open app. You can follow all your favourite players, track the scores, stats, and watch match highlights on there. Get player news. Live 3D views of all the singles matches on the app as well. That's available on the App Store and Google Play Store. Yes, you were saying, Andrea.
I was saying Steffi Graf and Iga Swiatek, maybe on first glance, not the two players you would connect with each other, but on second glance. On second glance, there was a nice suspenseful pause there. On second glance, the two have this intensity that they are able to hold for very long periods of time. And you, as the opponent, just feel the mental pressure rising from point to point. You know you might not make a game if you don't find your best tennis. That just increases the mental load and pressure when you face somebody like Iga Swiatek or Steffi Graf.
There's 15.
One or two misses creeping in. That's the just got a very, very quick shot of the coaching tablet that support teams have access to on these big courts. Before we zoomed in, which is something that's developing all the time in our sport.
40-15.
Player teams having access to an incredible depth of data courtside in terms of the numbers, but also things like where the serves are going on big points and cross matches, individual sets, patterns of play for them to delve into if that's how they want to do their coaching, sort of messages they want to get across to the players.
Game Swiatek.
Another game for the #2 seed.
Swiatek leads 4 games to 1.
Establishes a 3-game cushion in this opening set. The break of serve 4-1. Back to the ranking situation. If Sabalenka makes at least the quarterfinals, then that's race over, if you like, for these couple of weeks in terms of top spot. If she loses before the quarters, then there's a chance that Iga and Coco Gauff could go to the top of the world rankings. We'll keep an eye on that. Sabalenka coming through late last night is into round 3. We'll play Leylah Fernandez, which isn't the easiest appointment, round of 32. Second round matches in the bottom half today, so by the end of the day we'll have a full lineup of third round matches in this half of the draw, and we go back to the top half tomorrow. That's how the Grand Slams work.
Time.
Day on, day off. So far, so good for the #2 seed. Former champion here. She's won 3 of the 4 majors now, has Iga. Of course, her dominance at Roland Garros, we all know about. 4 titles there. 1 here in New York, that was 2022. And of course, first Wimbledon trophy just a few weeks ago. So having told us, Andre, a few minutes ago that you predicted the
15.
Wimbledon champion, you've put yourself in a difficult spot now, because you know what the next question is. Is she going to go back-to-back?
I think so.
Well, okay.
That was my call before the tournament. I, of course, have to stay with it. I do think that she's just very, very dominant right now, and she's handling situations where it's not going well a lot better. And this is exactly what is so encouraging and why I picked her, is when the forehand is going smoothly. We saw a couple of wild misses on that side, but she continues to try and run around her backhand and use her forehand, and it's such a heavy shot. It's so different than anything other on the WTA tour that we have right now. Similar to Sabalenka's forehand in a way, where when you can connect your strings to the ball continues to rotate in your strings, so you have a lot of trouble controlling it. And if she can flatten it out like she just did here, that's of course just added insult to injury. So you have to make sure that your entire body weight is behind the ball to be able to control it well, and not a lot of women have that kind of athleticism and footwork to be able to pull that off.
Swiatek.
Another break.
Swiatek leads 5 games to 1. First set.
Serve for this opening set, just 27 minutes on the clock.
And I think it's fair to say that Suzan Lamens is not playing badly at all.
I totally agree.
Right?
Yeah.
It's only the serve. The second serve is really a huge problem for her. She's only won a single point off that. But from the baseline, she's really holding herself well out there.
59.
Feels like 5-1. It's actually a little bit harsh from the baseline exchanges we've seen.
In
terms of the draw, Iga is in the same half as Coco Gauff. That's the other big name, other top seed in this half of the draw. Coco is the 3rd seed. Plays Vekic today.
Out. 30-15.
In terms of the quarter, she finds herself in the same quarter as Amanda Anisimova, the number 8 seed, of course, who she beat so comfortably in the Wimbledon final. Potential quarter-final opponent.
Out. 40-15.
So 29 minutes on the match clock. And the number 2 seed with set points already. That is another very efficient set of tennis from the former champion here in New York. Might still be causing a few problems tracking that ball in and out of the sunshine and the darkness. Even if she does lose this match against one of the best in the world, got to try and look big picture. I think if you're Suzan Lamens, who's had a really good 18 months or so, when you look at the tennis she produced in 2024, the move she's made in terms of the ranking jump in that period as well. Outside the top 200 at the start of last season. As Andrea was saying, first title in Osaka. That was as a qualifier as well, beat Kim Birrell in the final. Quarterfinals Hong Kong and Budapest. First 125 title in Buarest in Portugal, just outside Lisbon. Some good wins along the way. Beat Clara Towson in that final, in fact, in Portugal. How's this for a roller coaster? Was 7-5 love up in that final.
Oh my God.
And then 4-1 down in the third. And eventually left with the trophy. It's a day she'll remember.
Well, actually, in the first round, she was up 5-1 in the first set as well. And then it got back to 5-4. And that's what I've seen with her. Sometimes when she wants to play it safe, she just retreats far back behind the baseline.
40-15.
And that's also been the problem for her today against Iga Swiatek. And to be fair, it's not easy to defend the baseline against a player like Iga.
There we go. That's a nice start to set number 2. Gets off.
First game, second set.
On the right foot this time. And she's here playing majors as well. I was looking at her qualifying record at the Grand Slams before this season. I think it was 8 times she tried to qualify. Hadn't got it done, but here she is, the end of 2025 season, or moving towards the end of the year, and she's played all 4 majors, which is great experience.
Yeah, really. And it's so interesting to watch with players that there are certain mental obstacles you have to take as a player. The top 100 is one for a lot of them, which coincides, funnily enough, with the Grand Slam main draws. Once you feel like you belong into the main draws of Grand Slams, that's when everything about you as a player changes. The confidence, then the next step is beating top 10, not only playing against them. And that's how you hopefully edge yourself towards the top. And then there's Iga Swiatek, who just come out and win Grand Slams right away.
She's had 6 top 50 wins. A good one recently against Beatrice Haddad-Meyer in Montreal. There was 21 in the world at the time.
Low 15.
Dutch #1. So flying the flag. The last Dutch player still going in the singles, both singles draws. Greek Spoor and Van der Zandschulp, and Jesper de Jong losing early in the men's draw.
Love 13.
Let's just see this as a wonderful opportunity. Jump into a 2-0 lead in this second set.
That was a great save by Iga Swiatek. Fantastic return from Lammens through the center of the court with a lot of depth, and on these medium fast courts, always a good tactic to try and do that. You take away the angles from the opponent, the ball slides through the court. And definitely a more aggressive stance here from Lammens. Was trying to put a bit more pace on her ground strokes. Worried faces in the box? Question mark? We don't know.
Yeah, maybe a touch surprised by the scoreline early in this second. Chances now to break.
Ball.
One first serve made in this game. Pretty impressive second serve. Serve +1 combination.
Juice.
Chances disappear. It's 3 break points she's had.
Advantage Swiatek. Let for serve.
So on the brink of another service hold. It hasn't been easy this service game, down 15-40. Second serve at 15-40 as well, which was deep and close to the service line. Looking like Iga Swiatek will survive. First serve just gone off a touch in this second game of the second set. Plain sailing in the first set for the number 2 seed.
Game Swiatek.
And she does indeed hold. So far so good for the former champion here in New York 2022.
Second set.
Of course, hot on the heels of a first Wimbledon title. What's your assessment so far, Andrea? Looking pretty good, Iga?
Looking pretty good. I feel like Suzan Lamens really put up a fight here in the second set to up her pace and her ground strokes, and she has done so well. Got herself 2 break points, but 6-7 points is all it took for Iga Swiatek to adjust to that newfound pace of this young woman here. And sometimes that happens, right, with Iga Swiatek. She sometimes loses rhythm on her first serve, and for a couple of games it just goes away on her. We saw the same thing happen during mixed doubles, where just for a few games she can't seem to find it. And Wim Fissette has talked about how they are working, how the current motion is still a work in progress, and how their goal is to make it even more fluid.
That's well done, and although the scoreline is fairly one-sided, I think we've both been impressed at times with Lammens' tennis off the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. I think from the baseline rallies were just what you saw now, a lot tighter fought than the scoreline would indicate. The second serve of Lammens really has been the issue. Iga Swiatek all over it if she misses a first serve. And
30-all.
Now the first serve has become a problem too, because she's taking off pace to make it. And Iga Swiatek takes that opportunity.
wonderfully done. Did so well to hang in the points and defend her territory, and that's perhaps the shot of the match so far. Great composure. A little bit of extra time just to make the decision and focus on the execution.
Juice.
Hazy sunshine became bright sunshine midway through that point. Just changed the look for the Dutch #1 midway through the point. Fighting to hold here. Continue to make this second set competitive.
Advantage,
The ball toss that time for another double. That's a 4th today.
It is a very high ball toss, I will say. A lot of things can go wrong when your toss is so high.
Let for Sue.
You mentioned the sun. If a wind blow comes in, all of these factors can throw you off your rhythm.
Be a relief. She's done well there. That's only the second time she's won a second serve point today. 2 of 10 so far. It's too good. It's just pinged off the Dutch woman's racket. Looks like it just broken some camera equipment in that snapper's pit.
Well, and again, if you take a look at the positioning of the two women, Iga Swiatek right on the baseline and Lammens multiple feet behind it, just opens up angles for Swiatek.
And eventually it is another break of serve. So the #2 seed in control, set and a break. Much tougher start to this second set than it was right at the start of the match for 2022 champion Iga Swiatek. Generally looking to play better tennis, more effective tennis in quicker conditions. I think the US Open would probably fall into that category. It's medium fast court surface and can get a bit quicker if it's hot during the day sessions here in New York. I'm sure the next title on the list will be the Australian Open down in Melbourne, where she is yet to win.
Time.
A couple of semi-finals down there, 2022 and the semis start of this year, Melbourne Park. So Iga back in the sunshine to begin game 4 in this second set. So far, so good for the Wimbledon champion. Set in a break, she leads. What was your initial reaction, Andrea, when she hooked up with Wim Fissette? It was around the end of last year, wasn't it? Was that do you see that as a positive move, one that would reap rewards for Iga?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I was surprised because I knew how important it is for her to have a Polish-speaking person in her team. Tomasz Wiktorowski did a great job with her, is now on the Osaka team. But on the other hand, it was also a great sign of courage to try new things, to get out of her comfort zone and get an internationally renowned coach by her side. And it took a while before their partnership took off. I actually thought in Australia she played tremendously well, held match point in that semi-final against Madison Keys. And then just things fiddled out a bit.
Yeah, it was a tough defeat, wasn't it, to Maddie in the last 4 in Melbourne, 6 in the third, 10-8 in the deciding breaker. Of course, Madison Keys going on to claim her first Grand Slam title. Chances here for Lammens, 3 of them. First time she's had break points as well. She's had 3 already in this match. Chances to take the pole serve. Oh yes, got her again with the lob, and there we go, a break of serve for the Dutch #1. They enjoyed that one.
Second set.
The backhand lob. Yes. All the other players in the draw should write that one down if they decide to attack Lammens via the backhand side. Such good feel, and nice how calm her body stays when that's not easy to have feeling.
Quick reminder to head to usopen.org, the official tournament website. That's your online home for all the live scoring. Throughout day 5 of main draw tennis today and beyond, of course, a week and a half or so of the final major of the season. All the highlights on their real-time stats, of course, match reports and match previews, all the draws and the schedules every day. That's the official tournament website, usopen.org.
Yeah, that forehand down the line from Lammens is the one shot that has eluded her a bit today. She played it really well in her first round. Today, just a few missing wide. Of course, you're trying to do it extra well against somebody like Iga Swiatek, who's just coming off her title.
Oh. 30-15.
End of serve here would be dream territory, really, for the Dutch woman. She can get into a 3-2 lead, then turn into an interesting set, given she's had a few chances to break today.
40-15.
Yeah, just a bit of rush in Iga's demeanor right now, just going for very small targets towards the lines, flattening out her ground strokes a bit too much. She could use a bit of heaviness again, and she was doing so well for a set and a half.
And a very useful hold of serve. So what a great period for the Dutch number one. A break and a hold, 3-2.
Swiatek by 1-2.
It was a completely different feel, at least this second set. Of course, when you get this sort of matchup, it can often take a little while to settle into these big courts. There's none bigger than this one, of course, the biggest purpose-built tennis stadium on the planet. So this is next level stuff. This is like a spaceship, isn't it? When you see it from afar for the first time loom into view. It is absolutely enormous.
Yeah, there we see it in the background, grandstand in the front. And yeah, and it's just also the dimensions around the court, a lot of green around the blue, and you feel like you can take all your time and all the space you need, and sometimes that's dangerous. Lammens has really settled in nicely. You can see she doesn't really have weaknesses, right? She moves well, she's solid off both backhand and forehand, can do some damage on the forehand side. Now that she's decided to be a bit more aggressive, take a few more risks, just that second serve for the future if she wants to break into the top 50, maybe even top 40, top 30, be seated at the slams. Needs a bit of improvement. Other than that, not an easy second round for Iga Swiatek at all here.
So let's see what the response is from Iga Swiatek, who was up a break early in this second. Now with work to do, 2-3. Serve numbers have just taken a bit of a hit, haven't they, in the second set for Iga. First serve percentage in the 40s.
And that is very smart what she's doing here in the first 2 points. Took a bit off the first serve, put a bit of spin on it, and here we have it, only 46% first serves in play. And the same on ground strokes, just a bit more rotation, bigger targets. No need to go for the line so early in the rally.
Faulty love.
Again, well done to Lammens, soaking up that power. She's going to push back that time, but she stayed in the point.
Game Swiatek.
No problems.
3 games
leveling the scores.
Second set.
Sun's in and out today.
Yeah, it is. Not easy to play with half the court being in the shade and then the sun going away and coming back in. But this was a very smartly contested game by Iga Swiatek. And this is the clarity she was sometimes lacking during the clay court season, to just retreat back to what she knows how to do best. And I think sometimes Iga forgets that her forehand, when she strikes it with a bit more spin rather than flat, is actually more difficult for her opponents to contest with. You can see this is a beautiful camera angle, the height over the ball to draw the short one and then go for the flatter forehand from Iga Swiatek.
Yeah, the shape of some of the shots at this level, sometimes difficult to appreciate when you're watching on TV. And then what the ball's doing off the court, obviously that's one of the features of playing in European clay, where the balls are pretty new. They're pinging off the clay at speed and height, and the same on the US hard courts as well in lively conditions. Surprising, isn't it, how high some of these balls are getting up, trying to control it and hit with power from above shoulder height sometimes. Oh, it's not coming back.
15-30.
Flattening that one out nicely. Stopped the ball toss a couple of times today.
Ah. 15-14.
Swiatek in the hunt for a fourth break. 2 chances. And there is another break of serve. The number 2 seed quickly regains control of this one. 4-3.
By 1 set to love.
Look at the world number 2 in full flight. It's always the footwork, isn't it, that many people talk about when you're watching courtside, things that can take you by surprise. Again, that is sometimes difficult to appreciate watching on TV. You get a few feet away from these top players, and the intensity of the physical side of the sport these days just blows me away at times.
Yeah, particularly this young woman here, Iga Swiatek. So much intensity, so much energy just wafting over to your side, and it can be intimidating playing her for the first time. And I think we saw that with Lammens, who's now playing a really good second set. Didn't play badly in the first, just needed a while to get used to the power and intensity of Iga Swiatek.
So 4-3 with the break.
Love 15.
Not sure what happened there after the serve. Did she stumble?
It looked like she got stuck a little bit.
Yeah.
So let's take a look. We can't see.
Didn't set off.
It's a good angle.
Without its complications, this second set for the second seed. Double fault.
Love 13.
First of the day for the pole. And she's down love 30 again.
(15-30).
Stayed alert and was ready for the short ball.
Yes, so well done. And again, the same thing that we saw when she got rebroken earlier in this set. Just snaps right back into the clarity of mind where she takes a bit off, puts a bit more rotation on it, bigger targets, and right away she is the better player on court. Not a lot of women out there who are better than Iga Swiatek on the tennis court.
30-40.
What a chance. The last chance she gets if she doesn't break here. Now's the time to strike. Oh, well done. It was a ferocious return. She did well to fend that off. Big up the middle of the court. Good depth as well off the return. Iga did tremendously well. Back to deuce. Point of the match. Lammens was everywhere, backwards, forwards, left, right, but eventually Swiatek survives.
Advantage Swiatek.
Well done to both women for this point. Lammens showing off her foot speed once more here. She's already made Iga Swiatek hit the extra shot a few times, but takes it to the extreme with this rally. Iga stays nice and calm.
Point for 5-3 now. Still not done in this 8th game. Just thinking to myself, you know, if Iga comes away and wins this match 1-3, it would look pretty straightforward on paper, wouldn't it? But it hasn't been the case, certainly in the second set.
No, not at all. I thought the first set already was much closer than a 6-1 scoreline indicated, but certainly here in the second, Lammens doing all she can to make things hard for Swiatek.
She'll get another look
Lammens.
at a break point. 1 of 5 today converted. They've come on a fairly regular basis. A couple in the first set.
Yeah, just a bit of hesitancy. Usually you see that when Iga is not feeling the ball 100%, that's when she tries to guide the forehand, loses feel over it. It's to accelerate the wrist again.
So break point, second serve. And a double. Well. Second double fault today.
4 games all, second set.
Hands over the break back, and it's game on now, 4 apiece. This has taken us by surprise after a fairly comfortable first set that lasted half an hour. Everybody inside Arthur Ashe Stadium wondering where this second set is about to take us.
59.
Inspired by fellow Dutchwoman Kiki Bertens as a young player who reached number 4 in the world rankings. She spent some time at the same academy and with the same coach who was instrumental in Kiki's development, Martin van der Bruggen. Same academy that her current coach played at as well. Aryna Malikova, who we've seen in the box today. I'll give the name of the town a shot, Andrea, but it might not be perfect pronunciation.
Do it.
Berkel and Rodenreis.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not bad. That's not good. That's not bad at all.
What would you give me? B, C?
B plus.
B plus. Okay.
Yeah.
Survived.
For a Brit.
Faulty 15.
Yeah, small town, which is where Van der Bruggen was based. A similar sort of philosophy from the coach.
Faulty 30.
Lammens was a junior and Kiki Bertens as well, not to play too much international junior tennis, just to stay at home and try and develop the game. This is the forehand, and we're into well, really interesting territory now. Lammens has the lead, 5-4 in this second set.
5-4, second set. First set, Swiatek.
Rewind to that extraordinary point we enjoyed a few moments ago, the 21-shot rally, just to get a look at the court both players covered. Eventually going the way of the pole, who produced a nice combination to get Lammens out of position. The cross-court forehand that dropped short to open up the court. But we are in a very interesting phase of this second set.
We really are, and Lammens has done a great job in extending the rally and extending it, and one more shot and getting one extra ball back. Iga Swiatek is rushing a bit here. You can see that a few down the line shots that were not necessary. She needs to get back to what she did so well in the first, wait for the right shot to pull the trigger on.
So needs to hold to stay in the second set in this second round match. This is a serious situation all of a sudden for the number 2 seed. They'll be desperate to come through this in straight sets.
Love 15.
He did a great job of getting stuck into the second serve that time. It's Iga who's struggling behind the second in this set. 4 of 12 points won.
Yeah, it all started with the serve, Lee, right? When she started losing rhythm on the serve, that's where her ground strokes also started to be a bit off, a bit of hesitancy creeping into them. And the serving is really like a virus. It can infect your entire game, bad and good.
Seems to be having a negative effect right now.
30.
Unexpected misses from the second seed, who is in real danger of finding herself in a deciding set here. Well, from a set and a break, we did not expect to see the number 2 seed stepping up to the line, trying to save 2 set points here.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Suzan Lamens looking to strike. And she does. Terrific effort.
6 games to 4.
And it is game on inside Arthur Ashe Stadium. Set apiece. What a set. Nice opening exchange to get this third set underway.
Love 15.
Suzan Lamens, this is a big service game, just to show Iga that you're still competing. You're not satisfied with just getting a set on the board. To try and continue in the same vein, it's often easier said than done against the very best in the world. Have a habit of finding another gear in these situations. What are you looking for in these early exchanges in the third, Andrea, after what we've seen in the last 15 minutes or so?
I think 2 things from Iga Swiatek. I think she needs to adjust her mindset a little bit from being so dominating in the first set and a half to accepting that her opponent, Lammens, is playing a really good tennis match today. I think that needs a bit of a mind shift. Obviously, Iga doesn't know Lammens that well, so she needs to accept that she's playing a very, very good player today. That's one. And the other thing is just being a bit more patient in the construction of the point. She pulled the trigger down the line a few times too early in the second set. And hopefully finding her rhythm on serve again. I think that really was a virus that infected her entire game in that second set.
30-15.
Ball.
Good early signs
40-15.
for the Dutch woman. Close to her best ever ranking, 66. It's been 58 in the world, 26 years of age.
Game, Lammens.
Enjoying herself out there now. Looks very much at home.
First game, final set.
And a perfect start.
Yeah, a bit of Dutch orange in the crowd with those baseball hats that we just saw. And if Lammens continues to play this well against the flat, quick ground strokes of Iga Swiatek, Swiatek still has the option to put a bit more spin, particularly on her forehand side, get it out of the strike zone of Lammens and see what happens there. Needs to go for a few angles as well because Lammens moves so well.
Ah.
59.
We can tell it's a serious amount of pace behind a shot when a crowd reacts mid-point.
Yeah.
30.
It was unclear whether that was a rage forehand or an attempt to just release some tension that has built up in the second set. As a player, you can just feel your muscles stiffening up and you want to hit the ball, but you just seem to not be able to. So maybe that was a form of release there for Iga to make the muscles loose again and find a bit more decisiveness on a few of those shots.
It's getting up the court to take on the second serve, and our friends crunching the numbers, Andrea, have spotted a change in that return position.
Yeah, now the question is chicken or egg. Did Lammens start doing that, and that's when Iga Swiatek lost her rhythm on serve, or did Iga Swiatek lose her rhythm on serve and Lammens picked up on it and started being a lot more aggressive on those second serve returns?
You're doing a good job of expressing herself inside this big stadium as well. I'm afraid to bring out a couple of celebrations after these kind of winners. just in time. Serving improves.
One game all, 5 sets.
Number 2 seed out of a, well, not exactly a hole, but it was a tricky situation at 30-all.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it is still, I wouldn't say a hole, but this is definitely a difficult phase for Iga Swiatek, who is facing a player that's ranked 66 in the world, but playing way, way, way above that level. She's playing like a top 30, top 20 player out here today. And to shift your mindset into accepting that is sometimes not easy. It takes a while. And you can just hear the players' box of Iga Swiatek becoming much more vocal here in the last 5 minutes.
And I suppose accepting that your opponent's playing a good match just allows you to control the frustration. Because I guess you're not saying to yourself as much, well, why am I not back in the locker room? You know, this player's 66 in the world, I'm 2 in the world. Why am I in a 3rd set? But I suppose if you say to yourself, look, this might be playing the best match he's ever played here, so let's just deal with the situation and continue to try to think clearly. That is really nice tennis, particularly the volley, being able to take the pace off.
30-15.
Yeah, such nice calm under duress there up at the net. And Jim Courier always says, don't play the number next to the player's name, play the player that's on the other side of the court. And I think that applies here today for Iga Swiatek.
It's a long time, by the way, that since Iga's found herself in a 3-set match, as Andrea mentioned.
And this is just what I wanted to see a bit more of Iga Swiatek, that off-pace, heavy forehand that goes out of the strike zone of Lammens, who have quite flat ground strokes on both backhand and forehand. And you could see how Iga took some pace off that. It jumped up and above Lammens' shoulder, and right away the unforced error. Maybe that's something she can try a bit more tactically here.
Frustrated that the forehand has gone long. Unable to bring up another break chance just yet. Can go all the way back to the 2nd round at Wimbledon. It's the last time Iga found herself in a 3-setter. Tried another cute short volley, not this time, just a fraction wide. So settle 1-all juice.
Advantage Lammens.
Must be quite a challenge, mustn't it? I'm sure you can appreciate this. Of, you know, when you're playing one of the best players in the world, as someone down at 66 in the rankings, you win that set, and that's a big deal. Taking a set off someone like Iga, who goes through so many matches in straights, barely losing games at times. And then to reset. Okay, I'm in a third, but I've got to maintain this intensity, maintain this level of tennis right now. And not, you know, there must be a temptation to sort of pat yourself on the back almost. You know, I've done well to get into a third set.
Yeah. And this is the first slip up we do see from Lammens in a while, quite a while actually, maybe 20, 25 minutes. The second serve had stabilized in that second set. And now another second serve.
And it gets punished. And there is a break of serve. Iga will be breathing a sigh of relief. 2-1, third set.
Final set. Time.
So a little bit of breathing space.
Oh. 59.
Ball.
To build now with the break. Came in the third game of this deciding set.
30-15.
Oh, that's the best serve she's hit in at least 35 minutes here, Iga Swiatek. 113 miles per hour. Maybe that's a good indication for her. If the serve was a bad virus that infected her game in the second, maybe now it can be a good virus. Are there good viruses out there, Lee?
Viruses tend to get a bad press, don't they?
They get a bad rep, absolutely.
40-15. Game, Swiatek.
So that is exactly
Swiatek leads
what she was hoping
3-1, final set.
Was able to sneak a break of serve and a fairly straightforward service game to build a 2-game cushion. Just a quick reminder to head to social media to follow everything that's happening here at the 2025 US Open. You can stay connected on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube and WhatsApp. Join the conversation with hashtag US Open. Day 5 of main draw tennis here. Second round action today to enjoy across both draws. The women's doubles getting underway as well today.
Love 15.
Second serve really taking a hit again here in the third set, and this is copy and paste from what happened in the first. You can see the 7-2 double faults for Lammens, who stabilized that part of a game in the second set.
$15.
Terrific ball striking from both. Swiatek eventually wearing down the Dutchwoman.
15-13.
Yeah, much better decisiveness on the forehand side from Swiatek. The wrist is flowing and accelerating again. She is finding back her confidence here.
No panic after losing that second set. Just took a moment to leave the courts, regroup mentally. First one saved. Just to hang in here. Good job in the second. She was down in the second set, early stages, down a break. Finding a way to turn that set around, so she's done it once. Yes, nice combination.
Yeah, very nice. We haven't seen that forehand inside out in a while. That is such a great shot for her to either prep yet another forehand or to just finish the point off. Well served, well played here on break point down.
At this stage of the second set, she did a really good job of just sticking to the number 2 seed. It's not going to help. It's
advantage Swiatek.
Another double fault on the stat sheet. That's 8 today.
Yeah, and she has that slice movement, right? More than a kick movement. And when you get tight and you have a slice second serve, that's when things tend to go wrong, because the wrist slows down, the arm slows down, you fall down.
Second serve under pressure again. 4 double faults in this set alone. again, it gets the full treatment as we expected. And the number 2 seed starting to increase the gap now. So it's looking like the danger was short-lived, which is often the case with the best players on the planet. Iga Swiatek is certainly one of those. And as we saw at Wimbledon, can navigate the bumps in the road en route to Grand Slam titles, as Andrea was saying. Dropped a set against Katie McNally, the American, earlier at Wimbledon, but left with the trophy. It's the aim over the next week and a half here in New York. That's your pick for the title, Andrea. Any concerns from the last 45 minutes or so, or just one of those days that you have as tennis professionals that you have to navigate?
Well, I did feel a bit concerned when she lost her rhythm on serve and when she started almost pushing the forehand, because with the way her technique is, with that extreme grip, if she starts pushing her forehand, it really goes nowhere. She has reeled it right back in. She's playing well again. And as a tennis player, to win a big tournament, you have to have that one match where you're playing awful, you're not feeling your ball, and somehow you still come through, and that's when you seem to take off and fly.
Back down on court. Our second seed in the women's singles. Will be breathing easier with a 4-1 double break lead now in this deciding set. First match of the day inside Arthur Ashe Stadium. Sinner, top seed in the men's draw, to come against Alexei Popyrin.
Love 15.
Benjamin Bratt, one of our VIPs in the house this afternoon. They come flocking to the US Open every year on a daily basis. American actor. VIPs from all walks of life, don't we, through the gates.
Love 13.
To watch a bit of world-class tennis in this environment. First time
15 30.
Off 30 on serve today, so has to wriggle out of this service game and make sure she stays in control of this deciding set. Looking for a 5-1 lead if she can do so. Numbers for the match: 65% first serves made. Great return, right back onto Swiatek's baseline. I'm not sure she's convinced by the call, but there's no arguments. It's popped up on the big screen, and that's how close it was. Just called the back edge of that line. Electronic line calling in place, of course, these days, as well as the video review system. Of course, all the match courts here at the US Open this year, should we need it.
No, that was well played by Iga Swiatek to save the first break point, and we've talked about it. Lammens has taken a much more aggressive stance on second serves from Iga Swiatek up on the baseline. And you can see both players struggling on those second serves.
But it's a break. And it is.
Swiatek leads 4 games to 2.
Fourth time that Suzan Lamens has taken the Swiatek serve today. Traveling coach Marina Melikova quickly in her ear, trying to get a hold of serve on the board here and make this tight again, this third set. Still a break adrift, but she can get a hold here.
15.
We'll be reminding herself that she's broken 4 times. The traveling coach.
Love 30.
That
15-30.
number's dropped off in this final set. First serves in play. Useful first delivery that time, just to keep her in this game.
Out.
You can see how important that particular stroke in her game and aspect in her game is. First serve makes things so much easier when it's in play against one of the best returners in the world.
Yes, well done. Great volley at full stretch. Good control of the racket face on a big point.
40-30.
Clever combination as well. Drawing Swiatek up the court, creating the gap, stayed alert. And now has game point.
Game Lammens.
And it is a hold of serve, so 4-1 becomes 4-3.
Swiatek leads 4 games to 3.
Refusing to disappear inside Arthur Ashe Stadium. I give her a lot of credit today, haven't you? The way she's, you know, it was a rough first set, down a break early in the second, would have been very easy to disappear quickly. We've seen Iga beat so many people for 1-1, 1-2 type score lines, but forced to third and still hanging around.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a great competitor and fighter she is. She just continued to do her thing, continue to be solid off both ends, be more aggressive when that second set began, and has made things very, very hard for the second seed here at the US Open.
time.
A huge crowd in position inside this huge stadium, almost 24,000 seater at Thrush Stadium. Swiatek still with the break 4-3, but a lot tighter all of a sudden. And hasn't been holding serve with the normal comfort or frequency that we usually see.
Love 15.
World number 2.
And you can see here how Lammens has created some space with that inside-out forehand. Swiatek leaning that way to protect it, and the other court is completely open.
Oh. 15-all.
Very composed out here today. This isn't familiar territory for Suzan Lamens. Sort of stadium. And coming up against top 10 players as well. This is all new. Just the second time she's played a top tenner. Played Rebecca at Indian Wells.
40-15. Game Swiatek.
There is a 2-game
New
gap.
balls, please.
Once more for the number 2 seed. And now just
Swiatek leads
4
5 games to
points.
3. Final set.
Finally get out of this match. Hour and 57 they've been going. Kalinskaya, incidentally, is the player who awaits the winner of this match. Has come through against Putintseva on court 12 earlier today, one of the early matches around the ground. 16 matches in the women's singles in the bottom half of the draw, and another, I was about to say 16 in the men's, but 15 in fact, because we had the withdrawal of Jack Draper. So Zizou Bergs through yesterday with a walkover, the Belgian.
Love 15.
She get another hold of serve on the board. Just force her opponent to finish this. Beautifully redirected.
She was ready for it, Iga Swiatek, and it took a while, but she is starting to read Lammens' game a lot better out here and is now in a very good position to take this difficult second round match.
15-13.
At least at this stage, it looks like Iga Swiatek will be avoiding an early exit here at the US Open. We have seen a handful of number 2 seeds crash out early. In recent years, 2017 it was Simona Halep, 2022 Kontaveit, 2018 Wozniacki. Does happen.
Yeah, that's more like it. But it was good how she shadow swung that one with her legs and knees bent. One before was a bit upright.
Still 2 points away from the finish line. Second seed. To get it done in this game. And she'll have an opportunity after the miss hit from the Dutch
14.
number 1. It has been a tremendous effort today from the world number 66, but it is the number 2 seed who now has a chance to seal this after 2 hours and 1 minute. Up the middle of the court that time.
Yeah, Swiatek again on her way to protect that inside-out forehand, cover that court, and I'm not sure if Lammens wanted to hit it up the middle or if she just couldn't quite control it, but it was in any way a very effective shot. She wants to stay out here a little longer.
Advantage Lammens.
Looking like she might be about to do just that. Coach delighted with the way she's fighting through this 9th game of set 3. Chance to get to the sit down 5-4 now. And she does, and it's been a theme of the match, the way she's been able to stick around, causing problems. Swiatek will serve for it. 5-4.
5-4. Final set.
So match point saved, and on we go. She's refusing to leave the Arthur Ashe Stadium this afternoon.
Well, and she should be out here as long as possible with how well she's not only played but also competed against one of the best in the world. To continue to stick with her no matter what is already an accomplishment in itself. Now she has the chance to make it even harder for the world number 2.
Time.
Everything in front of you and very good legs. Okay, come on, and intensity. Let's go.
Number 2C just taking the ball toss, looking into the sun from the far end, hoping to serve out this match now. 5-4. Tricky time of the day to be serving from that end, but that's a nice start.
59.
There we go, there's the evidence. She's looking right into the sun. Trying to track the ball.
Oh, that's well done. You just mentioned it. This is a very difficult time for overheads. It was very decisive.
It's just missed. And so,
40-love.
having had a match point in the previous game on the Lammens serve, Iga Swiatek now with the luxury of another 3, this time on serve. Match point number 2.
Thank you. Please. Faulty 15.
First double fault today. Second match point disappears, but still with 2 more.
Game 7.
And that will seal it.
Two sets to
Got there in the end today.
4-6, 6-4.
A little up and down at times, but another match win at Grand Slam level for Iga Swiatek, who moves into round 3. This time in 3 sets, though. Made to work hard today, over 2 hours on court, but eventually it is job done for the number 2 seed here in New York. A former champion, of course, on this court. Through in 3. 6-1, 4-6, 6-4.
Well, Ian, I think the Iga Swiatek fans who are superstitious will not be too upset about this difficult second round match, because if you remember, the one set she lost at Wimbledon was in the second round. When she saved match points against Naomi Osaka at the French Open last year, was in the second round. So maybe this is a good omen. And this young woman right here, Suzan Lamens, what a match she's played. That was really, really fun to watch.
Yeah, she can be very, very proud of her efforts today. So Suzan Lamens disappears. Look out for her the rest of the season. It's going to be interesting to see whether she can continue to move up the rankings, and it will be a sigh of relief for Iga Swiatek.
It will be, but those matches can build resilience when you overcome difficult phases, a difficult opponent. I'm interested to hear whether she can acknowledge that her opponent played well, or whether that's how the best are just unsatisfied with themselves. We will hear from her and hear what she has to say.
You're about to speak to Chris Budden.
Iga, congratulations. What a match. Take me into the third set. How'd you pull it out?
Sorry?
How did you pull it out in the third set?
Well, I started better than the previous sets, I would say, and then later on I just wanted to, you know, be pretty confident with my serve and go for it. And I'm happy that I closed it pretty fast, even though I lost 1 break. But still, it was an easy match, and I did some mistakes, so I'm happy that at the end I could, again, be more proactive.
How challenging is that when you win the first set 6-1, she ups her game, and you had to find something else within you?
Well, yeah, for sure, you know, I felt like it kind of depended on me and if I'm going to make mistakes or not, and sometimes I did. Yeah, probably got a little tight in the second set, and she for sure, you know, used the opportunity and was using her chances. So yeah, not easy, but obviously third set is a reset. You got to start from the beginning, and I knew I can, you know, do a little bit more, play a little bit more precise, so I just tried to do that.
Well, congratulations. We will see you in the third round. Iga Swiatek, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations.
We will indeed. Iga's assessment of